The biological approach to studying behavior argues that there are physiological origins of many behaviors and that human beings should be also studied in terms of their biology. This is because psychologists have found that the relationship between biological factors and behavior is bidirectional. That is, biology may affect behavior and cognition as well as the other way around. Psychologists study how the environment and how environmental factors interact with biological systems in both animals and humans. Many physiological factors can play a role in behavior and cognition, such as neurotransmitters, hormones, genes, and more. However, physiology does not always work on its own. For example, physiology responds to environmental stimuli such as a stressful or happy experience. One of the major controversies in the history of psychology is the so-called nature versus nurture debate, in which researchers debated whether human behavior is a result of biological or environmental factors. At this point in the history of psychology, a more balanced approach has been adopted, as scientific findings have demonstrated that it is not a question of whether biology or environmental science have an impact, but that both nature and nurture play a role. This is reflected in the interactionist approach, used by modern psychologists to adopt a more holistic picture of human behavior. An interactionist approach uses different approaches, biological, cognitive, and sociocultural, to get a richer understanding of behavior. The biological approach is based on certain assumptions about human behavior. The most basic assumption is that there are biological correlates of behavior. That is, complex human behaviors may be reduced to biological origins. Biologists that study the role of neurotransmitters, hormones, brain structure, and genetics, among other biological factors, may play in behavior. If a researcher only focuses on a single biological factor to explain a complex human behavior, this is a reductionist approach. A reductionist approach analyzes a complex behavior by studying the simplest, most basic mechanisms that are believed to be responsible for the behavior. A second assumption of the biological approach is that behaviors can be inherited. Since biological psychologists argue that biological factors are important in understanding origins of behavior and our biology is the result of genes, this is a logical argument. The mapping of the human genome has led to the assumption that eventually we'll know how specific genes are related to behavior. However, scientists already know the relationship between genes and behavior is complex. Biologists argue that there's not one single gene for behavior, but rather a combination of genetic expressions may lead to psychological processes that result in behavior. Stress and other environmental factors may play a key role in whether a gene related to behavior is expressed. A final assumption is that animal research can provide insight into human behavior. As a result, a significant amount of research is undertaken using animals. As we have seen through many scientific studies, other mammals, including monkeys and rats, have very similar physiology to humans. Our brains, nervous systems, and endocrine systems work very much like other mammals. In addition, our genetic makeup is also very similar to many mammals. For example, chimpanzees have roughly 97% of the DNA that we have, and mice are 99%. Charles Darwin argued in his groundbreaking theory that there is a continuity of evolution, so not only do we share physiological traits with our other organisms, but perhaps our behaviors are also related along this continuum. Thank you for watching. Please comment if you'd like to see another video. Thank you.